is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to today's live stream. It is Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. How we all doing today? We're going to get into some Scream theories as always. We can talk some other horror if that's what you guys want to talk about. No rules here. We're going to hang out for at least an hour, maybe more. We'll see. Let's see. Hey, Jacob. When Scream 7 and 8 come out as well as the Kirby spinoff, are you going to wait to get them on a DVD box set or DVD collection? I definitely plan to eventually. Right now, all I have is Scream 3. That is the only one that I have on DVD. So I have to get the rest of the franchise, 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. Obviously, when 7 comes out, gonna have to get that. 8 as well. Hey, Alex. How you doing? Hey, Grant. I am doing good. I hope you are too. Randy's rolling in his grave. Third day in a row. Yeah. Is it 3 days in a row? I am trying to get back into daily streams. There was a time where I was doing these every single day. Don't know if that can always happen. Sometimes it's hard to, work the schedule out. But if not daily, it's going to be multiple times a week, So if you miss one, you can catch the next one. Everyone here who is watching, please make sure all your notifications are turned on for my channel because I don't typically plan these things ahead of time. I kind of just jump on here when I get a free moment in my day. So if you want to make sure that you don't miss the streams, definitely turn on all notifications so that you don't miss it. Hey, SMF. Hey, Aaron. Hey, Clover. How you doing? Randy Meeks is goated. He is definitely, I think he's my second favorite character overall. After Stu, Stu's my favorite, as you guys know. Randy's my second favorite. Other than Ghostface, though, he's my favorite, regular character. Love Randy. Hey, Night Gamer. No worries. You're here now. That's all that matters. And like I said, I'm going to I try to do multiple streams a week. So if you miss one, no worries. You can catch the next one. Yeah, I hope we get some really good scenes between Sidney and Ghostface for 7. Some good fight scenes, a chase scene. I feel like that's something that we haven't really gotten with Sidney and Ghostface since, I guess, Scream 4, because she wasn't really in Scream 5. She kind of didn't really show up until the end. The few scenes that we did get with her in 5 with Ghostface were pretty good, but, she hasn't been the focus since 4. Obviously, she wasn't even in 6 at all. So I'm hoping that we get some really good fight scenes with Sidney and Ghostface in 7. Good phone calls, chase scenes. Thanks, Ray. Yeah, I just added the Santa hat to my green Ghostface. Getting in the Christmas spirit. I am in full Christmas mode. I decorated my house already. I've been watching Christmas movies. I just put out a video today, like an hour ago or so, called 10 Underrated Christmas Movies. So if you have not checked out my recent video, Please do so after the stream, though. Stick around for the stream, and then afterwards, watch my latest video, which is pretty new. It just dropped an hour ago. Hey, RJ. Thanks for joining the stream. We're going to get into some theories and stuff as usual. So if you have any theories or anything you want to talk about, start dropping them in the chat. And once I say hello to everyone, we'll start getting into some screen talk. Hey, Billy Loomis. We got Billy in the chat. I'm doing well, Aaron. Thank you. I hope you are too. Good. Yes. Like I was just saying, if anyone is just joining the stream, make sure your notifications are turned on so that you don't miss out on future streams like this one, because I don't typically plan them ahead of time. I just kind of do them randomly. I hope they just keep it simple, have Sidney the focus and not her daughter. I have a feeling that that's what it's going to be. Sidney's going to be the focus. And then there are rumors that they're kind of setting it up for her daughter to be the focus moving forward, like in Scream 8 and beyond. So I don't know. I have a feeling that Sidney and Gale will be the main characters, the main focus for 7. And then they'll set it up so that like Sidney's daughter can be the main character moving forward. Yeah, we all miss Randy. Stu is my favorite. Hey, Players Club. Welcome to the stream. Damn, I'm jealous. It hasn't been snowing by me. It's been super warm. Like, I live on the East Coast where it's supposed to get cold this time of year. But it really doesn't get cold anymore. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the seasons are kind of shifting where the fall used to be cold and now the fall's warm and I feel like the springtime is cold. I don't know. It's weird and it pisses me off. I want Christmas to be cold. Hey, Ghostface. Hey, Steve. You said if Kevin Williamson was to pass away, then characters would come back more because he's the one who doesn't like to bring them back. Well, you know, Kevin Williamson, he worked on the show The Vampire Diaries, which is one of my favorite shows ever. And he always brought characters back on that show. You know, on The Vampire Diaries, if a character died, that wasn't the end of their character. They always came back. So I don't know. And Kevin Williamson has said in regards to Stu, you know, he has said in the past Stu's dead, but then after he said that, he has said, I don't really know if Stu's dead because every time I think a character is dead, they come back. And I think he was referring to Kirby because he said in the, you know, shortly after Scream 4, he said Kirby's dead. And then, of course, she isn't dead. So he has even said that he doesn't know for sure if a character is really dead after we think they're dead. So we shall see. How do you want Stu to reveal himself in Scream 7? I want him to reveal himself in the final act. I know a lot of people have said that they want him to kind of reveal himself early on, be in the full movie. And as much as I want to see him in a full movie, I would love him to do the typical final act reveal, you know, where we're kind of sitting there throughout the whole movie, really just wondering if he's going to show up and really make us wait for it, and then have the grand reveal in the final act where he takes his mask off, because we never got to see Stu do an actual unmasking. That is something that they didn't include until Scream 2. Ghostface taking their mask off is something that happens a lot in the franchise, but it did not happen in the first movie. Billy and Stu never actually took their mask off. So I would love to see Stu do that. And I want him to say a line that is a callback to the original, like, surprise Sidney, or I always had a thing for you, Sid. And then I would like him to get away with it in the end so that he can survive, get away with it, and then carry on into Scream 8, where we get him in a full movie in the 8th movie. That's also, not only is a Ghostface coming back something that we've never gotten before, but a Ghostface getting away with it and not getting killed, or Sidney beating them at the end. That's something that we've never gotten before either. Favorite horror movie, definitely the first Scream. But the original Halloween is up there for me as well. Hey, Presents. Hey, Leah. Sidney has a husband and kids. Do you think she will have a bestie or new friend in Scream 7? Or does she still trust no one? I don't know. I definitely think she probably has some trust issues after everything she's been through, like her boyfriend being Ghostface, her close friend Mickey being Ghostface, her half brother being Ghostface, her cousin, who she literally knew her whole life and grew up with. She probably has some deep-rooted trust issues. And then, in Scream 5, we really don't get to see any of her personal life. We don't know if she has any friends. I don't know. I could see her possibly having some friends in Scream 7, but I feel like she probably wouldn't be that close with them and doesn't really let them in that much, doesn't really let them know personal details about her life. I don't know. Do you like the theory that Kirby might be in Stu's cult? I do like this theory. I have a couple of videos on the channel about this. I've kind of been suspicious of Kirby since Scream 4. I have a couple theories on the channel about Kirby possibly being a Ghostface, maybe a secret Ghostface in Scream 4 that we have yet to learn about. I don't know if they would actually do this, though. I feel like that might be a little crazy for them to do, even though I feel like it would be good. My main theory right now for Kirby is just that she knows Stu is alive. Not necessarily in his cult. She's probably most likely a good guy. Like, she's working for the FBI. She's a good person. But I think she has this secret knowledge that Stu is alive. Because, my theories on the channel are that the police from Woodsboro, helped to cover it up, Stu's involvement. So as an FBI agent, Kirby would have this knowledge that he's alive, but in Scream 6, she couldn't let anyone know because it's this like top secret investigation. She can't just tell Sam or Tara or Mindy, like, guess what, Stu's alive. She can't reveal this investigation that is still ongoing, you know? Yes, Leah. I see you're watching from Twitch, so thank you so much. But yes, I am mostly on YouTube, and my channel is mostly a horror movie channel. We typically talk about Scream, the Scream franchise, but I also talk about some other horror movies. But yeah, we're pretty much horror fans over here. Thanks, Ghostface. Hey, Wicked Dreams. What are your thoughts on Sam and Tara as characters? I think they're great characters. I do like Sam a lot more than Tara, but they're both great. And I've said before, like, Sam in Scream 5. Scream 5 was our first movie where Sidney really wasn't the focus anymore. She wasn't the main character. And I really think Sam did a great job of like filling that role. I think she was so good. I honestly, like, with Sam being the main character in 5, I honestly didn't miss Sidney that much. I think Sam was a great character. It sucks she's not going to be in 7. We're really going to miss her. It sucks. I feel like there was so much more story to be told with Sam. But I do prefer Sam over Tara. I feel like Sam is far more interesting. Tara is a little bit more boring in my opinion. Still a good character, still like her. Definitely prefer Sam. Kevin Williamson is the guy keeping Dewey from coming back. Well, I feel like no matter what, I feel like they wouldn't really bring Dewey back. I think he's dead. A lot of people want him to be alive, which I don't blame them, but I think Dewey's dead. I think the only way that Dewey can come back is in a flashback or like a Randy style videotape. I don't think they would actually bring him back like alive. Yes. 7 is going to be Sidney centric. I think it's really going to focus on her as a main character, just like we got with Screams 1 through 4, which I'm super pumped about. I'm so happy. Like I said earlier, it's a bummer that we're not going to have Sam as the main character like we thought we were going to. But the second Melissa Barrera was fired, I always felt like it has to be Sidney. If not Sam, Sidney needs to be the main focus. We can't just have another brand new random character for 7. Maybe in the future, down the road, Scream 8 can move on to another character, but 7 definitely needs to be Sidney for sure. If you had it your way, how many movies would you have kept Stu alive for, and would you ever have him killed off? Well, kind of like I was saying earlier, I think it would be 2 more movies. Have him reveal himself in 7, get away with it, also be in Scream 8, and then kill him off at the end of 8. I do think that they need to, when he comes back, I think they need to eventually kill him. Um, and I always say on these streams, like, it's going to probably be a definitive kill where they chop his head off, grind him up like Michael Myers in Halloween Ends, something where there won't be any debate going forward if he's still alive or not. So I would have him alive in 2 movies and then definitely kill him off at the end. I don't think he should live forever. As much as I love Stu, I would like to see him more, but I think 2 more movies is a pretty good amount. Thanks, Ghostface. I appreciate that. Nice. How is the new game with Ghostface? Hey, Jason. I asked Craven this one, would you rather have Stu be in 7, but that would be the last one, or guaranteed 3 more screens with Stu in them? Well, like I was just saying, I think 2 more movies would be good. I mean, I'll take 3. If they can make it work and have it actually be a good story where it makes sense, I'll take it. If they would put him in 7, 8, and 9, I'll take it as long as it makes sense, but I feel like 2 more movies is probably the sweet spot where it, like, makes sense. Um, who do you think killed Sidney's mom, or is everyone blaming Stu? I mean, I definitely think it was Billy and Stu working together, but if I had to blame one of them, it would be Billy. It was definitely like his plan, influenced by Roman. Um, but this was like Billy's motive, the whole affair with Maureen and his dad, breaking up his family. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't say Stu is to blame. I think Billy is to blame, and he influenced Stu to help him. Kirby is definitely part of the cult. She knew about the shrine and pretended she didn't. Gale knew, but not Kirby, and she's in the FBI. I think that was to throw everyone off. Like I said earlier, I am a fan of the theory with Kirby being in Stu's cult. I do have 1 or 2 videos on the channel with a theory about this, that Kirby is a suspicious character and could possibly be in Stu's cult. If they wanted to do this, it could make sense. There is some evidence towards this. So definitely, if anyone here is not familiar with those Kirby theory videos on my channel, please check them out. You can find them in my Scream Theories playlist. So I definitely think it would be possible for Kirby to be in Stu's cult, but will they do this? Probably not. I feel like they don't have the guts to go through with this. So if anything, I think she knows about the cult as an FBI agent. She's investigating Stu and his cult, hunting down Ghostfaces. She says, I take a special interest in Ghostface attacks. Um, so Amber and Richie, I think, were a part of Stu's cult. They met on this message board, this stab subreddit, where I think Stu is recruiting people for his cult. So Richie and Amber met online, and Kirby literally says she was tracking Jason and Greg's online activity. So that is just a connection there with the whole online thing. She takes a special interest in Ghostface attacks. So I just think it makes sense that she is hunting down this cult and has this secret information about Stu being alive. If Stu is alive, so is Jill, Mickey, and Ethan. I am a fan of Jill being alive, not so much Mickey and Ethan. But I know there are a lot of people out there who think that they are alive. But I'm more with Jill being alive. Hey Zork. Thanks for joining the stream and moderating. I realize I am pretty behind in the chat. I apologize. I try to get to everyone. You can always send in a super chat. Those go to the front of the line. That makes sure that I see your message, but I will try to get to everyone. Not a better reveal line than surprise Sidney. Yeah, I hope we can get that in Scream 7. Hey, Climinator. Yeah, like I said, it's where I live. It's been strangely warm for the fall season. You know, it's almost Thanksgiving, and then before we know it, Christmas will be here, and I am fearful that it's going to be like 55 degrees and sunny. Honestly, the past few years, like we had a Christmas a few years ago that was like literally 75 degrees. It was hot. I was going out without a jacket. And it just doesn't feel right. You guys complained that the killers were predictable, and now it is predictable if Stu is in Scream 7. Something you guys want, make it make sense. So I always say, sometimes people ask me, like, if Stu comes back, won't it be predictable? And I get where you're coming from, but it's one of those things. Even though I fully believe he's alive and he's going to come back, it's still one of those things where I'm like, will they actually have the guts to do it? I'm going to go into that movie not really knowing if they're really going to do it. And I will be surprised. I will be shocked if they pull this off, if they actually decide to have some guts and bring him back. So even though I'm expecting it, it won't ruin the surprise for me. I get where you're coming from, but I'll still be surprised. We have a super chat from Zork. Thank you, Zork. Question for everyone. How do you feel about an alternate universe where Maureen Prescott becomes Ghostface as revenge for what John Milton did? That actually, I don't hate that idea. That would be interesting for sure. I mean, honestly, John Milton would deserve it. Like, he is one of the worst characters in the franchise for what he allowed happen to Maureen. He is one of the few characters in the franchise who actually deserved what they got. So for Maureen to become a Ghostface and, get revenge on him, that actually would be pretty good. I'm not mad at that idea. Thank you so much, Zork, for your super chat. Thanks for hanging out with us and moderating. I appreciate you. Let's see, where was I? Every time I answer a super chat, my chat scrolls away from me, so I have to see where I was. Hey, Jamie. Welcome to the live stream. Will Gale Weathers return in Scream 7 and 8 and make a reference of things that happen in 6? I definitely think she's going to be in 7. I don't know if it's confirmed, a few weeks ago she said that she's not technically signed up for the movie yet because they keep rewriting the script. And then about a week or two later, she said something like, I'm the longest running Scream Queen, so I guess I can't stop now. And everyone kind of took that as like, she's officially back, which I don't blame them. I don't really have a doubt that she will be back, but I still don't take it as an official announcement yet. I am waiting for that social media post from either Kevin, Nev Campbell, Courtney Cox. I don't think it's official yet, but I do think she will be back. I did check out the IMDb list. I didn't really see anything suspicious. It literally just says, I think the only two on there are Nev Campbell and Courtney Cox. I didn't see any random cast members. I don't know. Have you seen the fan art alternative universe poster where Sidney and Tatum are the killers of Scream? Sidney takes place of Billy and Tatum takes place of Stu. I have not seen this. I would like to see it though. Yeah, Tatum's death kills me. It's rough, but it's what makes the movie so iconic. This is a good point. If they are making a series or a spin-off movie about Kirby, how would it make sense if she's the killer? I don't know. I mean, like I said, I really don't think they would have the guts to actually make Kirby the killer. So I feel like it's not going to happen. Why are people already talking about Scream 8? Good question. We just get excited for the future. We have these theories and speculations about 7. And then once we think about 7, we wonder how it's going to set up 8. So, but I get it. You're right. Let's get through 7 first. How would you feel if Stu returned in the beginning of 7 and gets away with it in the end? I would like him to get away with it in the end, but I don't want the reveal in the beginning. I kind of want to wait around for it for the final act. Um, but obviously, if he reveals himself in the beginning, I'll take it. I'll rather him reveal himself in the beginning than not at all, you know? Maybe Jill had Kirby as a secret accomplice and Charlie found out and got jealous. That is an interesting theory. Definitely possible. How would you feel if in Scream 7, Ghostface turned out to be Heather Graham? Her motive is she's pissed off that her career nosedived after Stab. That would be interesting for sure. I hadn't thought of that. Sam and Tara will return in Scream 10. Damn, that's a whiles away. Scream 10? That would be at least 5 years from now, if not more. By the time 7, 8, and 9 comes out, that would be a whiles away. I hope they can come back and Scream 8, honestly. Charlie's brother was in Scream 6 walking past one of the characters. I know what you're referring to. The scene right before the bodega attack scene. This character looks so much like Charlie, so much like him that I built a bunch of theories off of this. But I don't think it's him, unfortunately. I think Craven Something Scary here on YouTube, he kind of debunked this theory where he took a screenshot and, raised the brightness on it. And you can tell that it's not actually Charlie, but when you're watching the movie, it does really look like Charlie. And I built some theories off of it that I do think made a lot of sense. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen. Even Rory Culkin, who plays Charlie, said that he feels he's done with the franchise. He wouldn't want to come back. So it's unfortunate. Yeah, I wanted Randy and Sidney to get together. It sucks that it never happened. Hey Oliver, how you doing? Thanks for joining the live stream. Do you want more random killers after Scream 7? I guess so. I mean, it's definitely something that I don't want to see in 7 because I just feel like it's always been random killers. Like, I definitely don't want to see that for 7. I want to see some connection to Sidney and a connection to the past, where this is where Stu comes in. But then after 7, once the whole Stu thing is done, I guess it would just have to be random killers again. I don't know. Yeah, so I'm with you. Like, I'm kind of tired of the random killers. I feel like after a while, it doesn't even really make sense anymore. Like all these random people want to go after Sidney. Um, but like I said, that's why we need Stu in 7. But then after Stu, I guess it would have to go back to random killers. I don't know. Um, how many times do you live stream a week? I try to do multiple times a week. Sometimes I do daily, like this is my 3rd day in a row. There was a time where I was doing like literally every day. Gets a little tough sometimes. But definitely multiple times a week, like at least 4 I try. So, like I was saying earlier, if there's anyone new here, make sure your notifications are turned on so you don't miss out on future live streams because I don't typically plan these things ahead of time. Um, Also, everyone who is here watching, please give this stream a like because it definitely helps out the channel. I think there are 46 people here right now, so please give the stream a like. I would appreciate that. And if you're new here watching, subscribe to the channel, please. If you want fuzzy Christmas vibes, check out The Family Man and The Family Stone. If you want a good movie that takes place during Christmas, check out Enemy of the State. Yeah, I think you commented on my video that I posted on here about 2 hours ago. I haven't seen any of the ones that you mentioned, but every year I hear about The Family Stone, and I do plan on watching it this year for sure. How would you feel if Sidney's daughter helped Stu get away at the end and joins his cult? I would be torn on this. I feel like it would be really dark for the story. I feel like Sidney doesn't deserve this. It would be a good twist. I definitely would be shocked. So, and that's kind of what you want from these movies. You want to be shocked and have something happen that you really weren't expecting to happen. Um, but like I said, I think it would be pretty dark. If anything, I would like to see Stu try to recruit her for the cult, but not really succeed. Um, hey, Jamie. Why would Kirby be in the cult? It just makes no logical sense for her to be a killer. Um, I do have a couple theories on the channel where I feel like my theories kind of make it make sense. So definitely check out those videos if you haven't seen them. You can find them in my Scream Theories playlist. But you know, like I said earlier, I don't think they would do this. I feel like it is a little far-fetched for them. Thank you, Jamie. Yeah, that's the link for my Scream Theory playlist in the chat. I appreciate that. Favorite Ghostface quote? That is tough because I feel like there's so many good ones. Um, I mean, my favorite one has to be something from the original, like, I'll gut you like a fish, something like that. But honestly, the first ones that come to mind are something from Scream 4. I feel like Scream 4 has a lot of good Ghostface quotes. Um, I like the one in Scream 4 when Rebecca is in the parking lot and Ghostface says something like, "You don't sound like you're in a hospital, but I can put you there in the morgue." That's a good one. And another one from Scream 4 is right after Olivia's death. Sidney is in Olivia's bedroom on the phone with Ghostface, and Ghostface says something like slitting her eyelids in half. Like, that's another good one. It's tough. I might make um a video on this, like top Ghostface quotes. This is true. I mean, Jill only got shot in the chest. She did not get shot in the head. She can always come back. This was the original plan for her. She was going to come back in Scream 5 if they continued a decade ago. And the franchise emphasizes that unless they're shot in the head, they can always come back. I am super behind the chat. Trying to catch up. Yeah, I would love to see one more Jill and Kirby showdown. I feel like that would be good. Jill could definitely make a return. It's possible. Don't know if they'll do it, but Emma Roberts said she feels she was not done with the franchise and that she would love to come back. I agree. We need a cliffhanger. I feel like that really never happens at the end of the movies. There's never really a cliffhanger of any kind. Favorite kill in the franchise? Well, Olivia from Scream 4 is definitely like the most brutal, so that's pretty up there. I do really like Tatum's. I feel like that's pretty creative with the garage door. Um, so maybe Tatum's. The only way that I think Dewey will return is um in a flashback or like a Randy style videotape. I don't think he'll come back being like alive. I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, I do think Patrick Dempsey will return as well. Nothing's official, but we've kind of been speculating for the past year here on YouTube. Us fans have been saying like he needs to come back. I mean, it makes sense. Like he is literally Sidney's husband. Um, and we haven't seen them interact as husband and wife. Um, but Patrick Dempsey was just on the news like I don't know, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and he was asked about returning in Scream 7. He said that he has been contacted and they're kind of just waiting on the script. There's been a ton of script rewrites. So I think as long as they can work out the scheduling, I think he'll be back. How different do you think Scream would be if Gale died in the first movie? I feel like it would definitely be pretty different. I feel like I feel like Gale is almost as important to the franchise as Sidney. In fact, Gale's been in more Scream movies than Sidney has. So I do feel like it would be super different without Gale. For sure. Hey, Mickey. Do you think we will see footage of a stab video game in Scream 7? I don't know. Maybe. I feel like they have to get a little creative with it. I do like how the whole stab franchise has been included in every single sequel. But I do feel like they have to start getting a little creative with it. So for for it to be a video game, that would be pretty creative. Yeah, this kind of pisses me off how they don't really mention Tatum. Um, she dies in the first movie, and then Scream 2, we get a brief mention of her. Gale briefly mentions her, and Dewey doesn't even say anything in response to that. I feel like the moment Dewey shows up to um, the college campus, the second Dewey shows up and sees Sidney for the first time in Scream 2, that would have been a perfect moment for them to say something like, Sidney could have said, I miss Tatum. I wish she could have been here with me at college. But they don't say anything. And Gale briefly brings her up in 2. Dewey doesn't say anything. And then it's not until Scream 5 that we see Dewey has her ashes on his mantle in his home. But other than that, they don't mention her. And I don't like that. But there's rumors that Sidney's daughter will possibly be named Tatum. Don't know how true this is. This is just a rumor. But if it happens, if Sidney's daughter is named Tatum, I think that would be a perfect way to honor Tatum. Because like I said, they really don't um talk about her at all. So for Sidney's daughter to be named Tatum, that would be perfect. Um, let's see. Hey, Doshi. Let's see. On YouTube, there's a channel called Critics TV, and Matthew is talking to Drew Barrymore. It sounds like he confirms Stu is alive. I have seen this clip. This came out like a couple weeks ago. I feel like Matthew Lillard has been making the rounds. Like, he's been doing a lot of podcasts lately, a lot of interviews. And of course, they always ask him about his return in Scream 7. And he's always back and forth. Sometimes he says, Stu's definitely alive. And then sometimes he's like, I'm not in Scream 7, but if I was, I wouldn't tell you. And that's how I feel like if he's in Scream 7, he can't tell us. He's not going to say, yes, I'm in Scream 7. He has to keep it a secret. So, I don't know. It's one of those things we're just going to have to wait until it happens. Just watched Scream 3 and Sidney's dad is Just watched Scream 3 and Sidney's dad is so out of place. Was he meant to be in more scenes? Is he a random red herring? Is he alive in the Scream world? That is a good question. Well, I don't know if he's still alive. There's a deleted scene in Scream 4 where Dewey says to Gale that Sidney's dad died. But it is a deleted scene, so if they wanted to ignore that, they could. So I don't know if he's still alive, but I get what you're saying about Scream 3, where it feels kind of random. I am going to take a very quick break. I'm breaking one of Randy's rules, and I will be right back. Keep dropping your comments in the chat, and I will be back in just a minute or two. Okay, made it back alive. Let's see. Can we talk about how we have to wait 15 months for Scream 7? Way too long. I totally get where you're coming from, but honestly, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it's that long. Um, it'll be here before we know it, honestly. And that just leaves more time for us to speculate, theorize, and that is half the fun for me. Coming up with theories, talking about it with you guys, making predictions. Um, because once the movie comes out, that's it. Then it's out and we know what happens. So half the fun is waiting for it to come out. And like I said, time flies these days. So it'll be here before we know it. Thanks, Jamie. Yes. If anyone here has not done so already, please give the stream a like. It definitely helps out the channel. Um, and subscribe to the channel, please. It definitely helps out. I have not seen this movie yet. Teaching Mrs. Tingle, directed by Kevin Williamson. Um, it is on my watch list though. But at this point, it's probably going to have to wait till January because I am in full Christmas mode, watching Christmas movies. But yeah, I have not seen this movie yet. I've kind of heard mixed reviews on it. I honestly mostly heard that it's not that good. But I'll have to see for myself. How would you feel if Scream 7 was all set in one building? Honestly, I wouldn't like that. I don't really like when movies are set in one location. I like when there's kind of a location change. Yeah, Matthew Lillard is not that old yet. He's still young. Um, and you know, Detective Bailey was around the same age, so if that can work for Scream 6, I don't see why Stu can't return in 7. Yeah, I agree. Ghostface quotes in Scream 4 are better than 5 and 6. I have still not seen this movie, Climinator. Don't worry, it is on my watch list, but like I was just saying, it's gonna have to wait at this point until January because I'm strictly Christmas movies right now. If Stu Macher returned in Scream 7 without the Ghostface cult angle, what are some ways you'd like to see him incorporated into the story? I don't know. I mean, I really never gave it much thought without the cult story. But I guess just still trying to get revenge on Sidney, but without the cult, I guess. That's a good point. Stu's age would be younger than Matthew's real age because I think he was like 26 filming the first movie when he's supposed to be like 17. So that is a good point that I actually hadn't thought of. Hey, Leah. Bye, Climinator. Thanks for hanging out. If you're still here, I realize I'm behind in the chat a little bit. Hey, Craven. Thanks for joining the stream. I don't know if you're still here because I'm so behind in the chat, but thanks for joining. Let's see. Where was I? I did break rule number 3, but I survived. I'm back. Oh, I see my impersonator has joined the chat. I assume Jamie has taken care of that for me. Because I'm like 6 minutes behind in the chat. If anyone is new here, just to let you know, I have someone who comes into my streams and pretends to be me. They impersonate me and say crazy things. So I apologize. That is not me in the chat saying crazy things. Thank you, Jamie. Please make sure to report them first and then block them, because YouTube tells me I have to report them first for them to do anything about it. Unfortunately, I don't know if anything's going to be done about it because it's complicated, but so frustrating. Thank you. I appreciate this. Okay, so we are entering hour 2 of the stream. I think we're going to do something fun, and we're going to do another bracket fight for Ghostfaces. If some of you were here for the stream the other night, we did a bracket fight for all of the characters. This one is going to be just the Ghostfaces. Not like all the characters, just the Ghostfaces. Let me pull up the screen. All right, here we go. So, what do you guys think we should base this on? Should we base this on who would win in a fight against each other? Or should it just be who we like more overall as a character? Should we base it on strength and who would win in a fight? Or just who we kind of prefer and who we like more? We got a couple answers. All right, I think we're going to base it off of who we like more. Because I think that wins in the chat. Not based off of strength and who would win in a fight. This is just who we prefer. Ooh, okay, let me see about my sound. That you have an impersonator in the chat also. Is my sound better now? Thank you, Jamie. Is my sound better? I kind of messed with the wires a little bit. Let me know. All right, so I think we're all going to go with Amber. It looks like everyone is saying Amber in the chat, and I also think I personally prefer Amber. So we're going with Amber. Ooh, Jill versus Stu. This one is tough because I do love both of these people. I think I prefer Stu, but I do love Jill. So this is a tough pairing. Everyone else thinks. My StreamYard literally keeps glitching right now. It's like the chat's freezing, my camera's freezing. I apologize, you guys, but hopefully you can hear me well. It's really all that matters. Jamie says Jill. You guys know I gotta go. I gotta go Stu. I'm sorry. Stu's my favorite, but this is tough. I do love Jill. Oh my god, this is not working right now. It's like my whole laptop is glitching. Wait, let me try to reset it. Okay, we went with Amber for the first round. Stu for the second one. All right, hold up, you guys. Everything's glitching. Please stand by. I apologize for the technical difficulties. Bear with me. I gotta reset the bracket fight once again. Okay, we went with round one. Stu for round two. All right, it's not working the way it should, but the next round is Roman versus Ethan. If you can see it over here, it typically pulls it up so that it's big on the screen, but it's not doing that right now. So next is Roman versus Ethan. You guys know I cannot stand Ethan, so we're gonna go Roman. I think most of you in the chat would be in agreement with this. Roman the Showman. All right, next up we have Mickey versus Charlie. This is a tough one for me because I love Charlie, and I feel like a lot of people don't. But I personally prefer Charlie over Mickey. All right. I prefer Mickey. I know so many of you are saying Mickey. I prefer Charlie. So I apologize Guys, I gotta go Charlie. Okay, next up is Billy versus Richie. I know who would win this one. Billy is way better than Richie. Yeah, it looks like everyone is saying Billy. We got one, Richie. But we're going Billy. Next up is Nancy versus Quinn. Battle of the female ghost faces. Jamie, I see there's an impersonator for Killjoy Jake in the chat. I know it's not him. In fact, I was tuned into his stream last night and I saw that he had his impersonator there also. So please, if you could block this person. Thank you, Jamie. Hey, Woolmeister. Yeah, it looks like most people are going with Nancy. We got a couple Quins, but I think we are going with Nancy. Okay, next round is Amber versus Stu. You guys know who I'm going with. But I'm curious what you guys think. We got a bunch of Stews. We have one Amber. I don't hate Amber. She's not my least favorite, but yeah, I think Stu is just a far better character. We're going with Stu. If the website will ever work for me, let's get this together here. Okay. Next up, we have Roman versus Charlie. I'm curious what you guys think about this one. Roman versus Charlie. I personally like Charlie more. But I feel like Roman has a lot of fans out there. We have mostly Roman, but we also have a Charlie. All right, we have a few more Charlies. Charlie is just one of my favorites. Jamie, there's another person in the chat. I'm going with Charlie. Sorry, guys. All right. Final round, or second to last round. We have Charlie versus Stu. These two right here. This is tough because I do love Charlie, but you guys know Stu's my favorite. We got a couple Stus in the chat. Yeah, it looks like we're going with Stu. Of the Loomises, Billy versus Nancy. Who are we going with? I think we're going with Billy. Yeah, I love Charlie, but no way am I picking him over Stu. But we got Billy versus Nancy now. I think we can all agree Billy is better. Oh, we got one Nancy from the Willmeister. All right, let's go with Billy. And now it comes down to the battle of the original Ghostfaces. Stu versus Billy. I feel like we all knew who this was going to come down to. You guys know who I'm picking. Stu versus Billy. We got a bunch of Stus. Couple Billies, though. Ray says Billy. But you guys know who I gotta go with. I'm going with surprise, surprise, Stu. Stu wins. He's always gonna win in all of my bracket fights that he's in. He's just my favorite character. Jamie, I'm sure you see we got another imbecile in the chat. This person's clearly mentally ill because they keep this is all they do with their time. Thanks, Jamie. All right. So there is the Ghostface bracket fight. I think that's going to be it for today. This was an hour and a half stream. Lots of fun as always. I'm going to try to stream tomorrow. So please make sure all your notifications are turned on so that you don't miss out, because I don't really plan these things ahead of time. I just kind of pop on here when I get a free moment. So if you don't want to miss it, make sure all your notifications are turned on. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, you guys. Always a blast. We're going to also do more of these like bracket fights or character rankings because it's a lot of fun. Hopefully next time it doesn't glitch out on me. It wasn't really working the way that it should have worked tonight, unfortunately. Sometimes that just happens. Thank you, Jamie. I seriously appreciate you. It's a big help. Thank you. All right, so I hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday evening. Be sure to check out my new video that I just posted earlier tonight. I just dropped a new Christmas video about a couple hours ago, so please go check it out, give it a like, leave a comment, show some love. It definitely helps out the channel. But I will catch you guys tomorrow.